Let's talk a little bit now. We have been talking a lot about hope. We got to the hope point. Remember how we got there? How did we get to hope? Come on, class. What triggered that? Students. How did we get to this talk about hope? Remember when it started? Sister Janet is going to tell us all about it. Tell us about it. Okay. Very good. And what about the hope? What do you remember? I can put you in this one. What do you remember? Anything at all from that? Alright, she's fine. Alright, the hope thing is very important. We use it as an H for hope. We talk about hope. What did we use it as an O for? Overcomers. Alright. Now we're on to the next letter, which is P. What's the P word? I didn't give that to you? I did. What's the P word? H stands for hope, yes itself. O stands for overcomers. We're overcomers through Christ. We are all overcomers now. But the P stands for something big and powerful. Yeah? Perseverance is a good word. No, that's not the one. I only just give it to you in the answer by saying that to you. No, not pray. Power, yeah, power. The resurrection of Christ gives us power. There's a power place. I have so much to tell you about that. It's probably going to take us the next 3 weeks to a month to finish power. So I'm going to start where I believe God wants us to start. When your Bible is with me, to the book of Genesis chapter 1. Everything that has a beginning in this world began in Genesis. And we're going to look through scriptures, and I want to see if I can do justice to this and see if we can do this. In Genesis chapter 1. While you're looking for the first chapter in the book, put your finger there. Let's talk to you about this. If you're a journalist, many of them look for these 5 W's they call. 5 W's. What are the 5 W's? We all know. Who, when, what, where, why. We all know that. That's so good. Every storyline seems to have that. Who did it? Who didn't do it? When did it happen? Where did it happen? Why did that? They may not know, but they make up the old story of why they think it may happen. So, who? If you're in a philosophy class at university, one of the things that a philosopher will say to you, a professor will say to you, many people ask the question, who am I? Where did I come from? And where am I going? Common? Is that common? A very common thing. Who am I? Where did I come from? And they go through evolution versus creation. And where am I going? Where am I heading? And we be stopped there, but you gotta ask, and how do I get there? The next point is, not only where am I going, but how do I get there? That's a H word. That's a fantastic word for everybody to. How do I get there? How do I do this job? How do I discover who I am? So who I am. When it comes to power, that we're going to talk about, the power is a what did I get? So before we talk about the what, let's talk about the who. For who you are determines what you got. Who you are determines what you have. That's true. Who you are. I am the Prime Minister of Canada. What's your job? What do you do? What's your responsibility? The what comes from the who. Who's talking? Your boss? Somebody say, I am firing you. The first question you ask, and who are you? The boss will be the one that said, well, do you not know the president of the company? I am your manager? If one of your job worker would say, hey man, I'm firing you tomorrow, don't show up at work. You better show up if he's not your boss. You may be fired by the right person. Who is the person speaking determines what is being said and how important that thing is. We have a what when it comes to the power of God, but we need to know who are we. Why are we having that power? Who will be the person that gets it? So let's talk about that. I want us to talk about the who, because the who is quite important. Like, my mother says something, my father says something, my brother says something. What my brothers, my sisters may say is not as powerful as what my mother and my father would say. It's true. Simple, right? When God said to you, I will give you power, Acts chapter 1 verse 8, Jesus said to his disciples, I'll come to Genesis. Go in, he said, you shall go to Jerusalem, but you shall receive power. After that the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and you shall be witnesses. You shall do this. What shall I do when I get the power? I am going to be a witness to every place. Jerusalem, Samaria, all the other places. Why? Who am I? And what am I given? And what do I do with it? We have been given the power of God. But who's the we? Who are we? Then began by, who am I? Starts with the person. Genesis chapter 1, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Adam. I want to show you something. It's an amazing thing. Alright, Genesis 1. Read with me through your Bible. From verse 26. Now, let me explain this story to you. Genesis chapter 1 is an overview of all the things that God did. Genesis chapter 2 is a detail of what he did with man. Go through that. Genesis 1, he's going to tell us what his intentions are. Genesis chapter 2, he's demonstrated what he intended. True? If you do an essay for school, your introductory comments in your essay will be, this is what I'm planning to cover in my essay. You don't do it all in the intro. You'll have a long thing. Your introduction, you're introducing the subject matter. I'm going to be dealing with A, B, C, D, F, G, and then chapter 1 is A, B, C, D, conclusion at the end. So what? This is what I want you to take away from this. Isn't that what most of us learned when we were doing essays in school? Some of us, many of us. Some of you had a different angle on that. But it's a very common approach to doing something. You write in a book, you have introductory comments, and you have your contents, and you tell you what you can read in each chapter, and then you have the end of the book. My point is, God is similar in that sense. We learn it from him. He intends, he tells us what he intended to do, and he did it, and he reminds us, I've just done that. Genesis chapter 1, overview with God. Okay, Sister Janet is turning her head sideways. She's shaking her head. Oh, she's not looking for the attention here. Let's go. She's doing good. Follow me now. I'm going to make a believer out of her today. Now we all know he did on the 5th day. I said what he did with man, what he's intended to do with man is my subject matter. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air. What does that song like? Let us make man. He didn't say we've just made man. He said, let us make man. We have a conversation. Let us build a building. We didn't build a building by telling us, let us. We build the building by doing the action. Chapter 2 is the action. I'll show you the action. So let us. He said, let us. This is God's intention. This is his goal, his plan. Let us make man. And all the other things before that. Or he said, let the earth bring forth, because the earth was already in place. I call the sun, I call the sun, I call this moon. You rule the day, you rule the night. He already spoken, let there be light, and there was light. When the light came, he divided the light from the darkness. That was fantastic. When he came to man, he said, hey, conversation. Father, Son, Holy Ghost had this conference. Father said, hey, let's make man after our image. And then let's tell us, and then let's see what he's going to do. He's going to have dominion over this. Follow me? Let's see if we can pick that up with the text. My Bible is very powerful, so it's yours. He said, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Let me stop. Verse 27 is a little, and God created man in his own image, and he explained a little bit of what he did, and he told them, blessed them, and said, go and do this. But when did he actually physically do it? In chapter 2. When did he physically do that? I'm going to show that to you shortly. Let us make man, and then he said, and let them have dominion. So the let us make man is, what is man going to be? In my image, in my life. The man we're going to make, this is who he's going to be. He's going to be a person, she's going to be a person in my image and in my likeness. This is what the who is going to be. Hit the who. Is that making the thing? And then he said, so what's going to happen with the who? The who is going to have dominion over all these things. Did I muddy up the water or is it clay? Clay. Clay is mud or just clay is water?
Clay is water.
Clay is water. So let us, the who is important to the what is the man going to do. There's no point God making the man and don't tell him what he's going to do. When you get hired at a company, hopefully they give you a job description. We are looking for an engineer, and they should have specifications or things that the engineer is responsible for. You don't hire an engineer and put him to sweep the floor. He could be a floor engineer, you can call him that if you want, but we call it a janitor. No?
Yeah.
When you get hired for a company and they never tell you what you got hired to do, you're very confused. They say, we're just hiring you. So what is my job? What are you paying me for? We're just hiring you. No company is foolish enough to do that. Now they may change what they hire you for based upon the needs in the company, and they have this clause that every company has the right to modify your job descriptions after you've been hired. They do have the right for that. If you unionize, that's a slightly different program there, but the point I'm making is they have certain guidelines. This is what you're going to do. So you're hired to be a manager. You manage these 15 people, and this is what the end product ought to look like, and these are the people that report to you. Now you have to make sure that this part is done, productivity is over there. If not, we'll fire you and get somebody else to take your place. If you don't measure up to what you're hired to do, they'll fire you or warn you at the beginning. Or somebody will walk you out. Have you ever been walked out? Has the company ever released you and somebody to walk you out? I remember once I was asked to leave. I told you about that one already, within the first 3 months. But I told you the reasons there. I'm not going to go through the story again, but it's not a great feeling. It's not a great feeling when someone walks you out, when you know that you have not this someone, you're walking out. It's not a nice peace feeling at all. When you were the one doing the walking out though, when you were the one bringing the person out, it's not a good feeling either. So I've had the, I don't call it honor or not, I had the privilege of walking another people out. It's not a great feeling, but here's the fantastic thing though. If your relationship with the people that you're walking out is one that is honest and transparent, the walking out becomes even more difficult, but you feel easier at it. Here's the point. One fellow that reported me many years ago, he had all kinds of things, unionized everything else, got warning, written warning, and he just totally ignored all the other stuff that went on and that. He still came to walk out. The decision was made. So I went and said, listen, on Friday when you come in fact, we never release you on Friday, it seems to always be on Mondays. But anyway, come in Monday, we have a conversation. We sit in the office and say, hey, you know what has been happening all along? Yes. Today's the day. What day? Today's the way for me to walk out. Really? They gave you that job to do? So he was reporting to me. He was anticipating it. He knew it was coming. But he didn't want me to be the one to do it. Why? Because he had planned to swear and carry on with the one who's going to walk him out. This time, he's not going to swear because it wasn't my fault. It was his fault and he understood. Because we talked about it. When you release someone and you've had a relationship with them, they'll understand it. Get the point I'm making? But it wasn't hard at all. So he gave me a hug. We gave a hug. I said, man, I'm sorry, I can bring you outside. So he walked. He said, you don't have to bother about that. I'm not going to break anything. I'm not going to do any hurt to anybody. I said, it's my job to bring you out. He said, so we walked and we talked and he laughed. I said, however, if you need a reference, I'll give it to you. He said, okay. He went on another job. I gave him a reference. And he said, is there anything about him that you need to tell us? I said, there's a couple of things. I said, he may have already told you that. Why did I know that? Because I said to him, when you go hire to the next job and they choose to hire you, I said, listen, I had issues at the last company, I know. These are the things that I've worked on since then, and I can be an asset to your company. That was the angle we took. We're walking out and I'm grooming him for the next interview. Most people don't care what they get in there to fill out. It's my responsibility to do that. Call, he got another job. Why? Somebody spoke well of him. Has anybody spoken well of him? Let's go into this. Do you understand the difference between the intentions of the who connected to the what, Sister Jim? You got that? She's still thinking it through. So let's go here. In chapter 2, though, is where we see the creation. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth, chapter 2, verse 4, when they were created in the day that the Lord made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the earth. And the Lord God formed, this is the detail of what God said, this is what we are going to do in our image, in our likeness. This is how he did it. He didn't give us the how in chapter 1, he gave us the how in chapter 2. Follow the point I'm making? How? How is he doing this? See, the Bible said, and God created man in his own image and in his own likeness in chapter 1. He didn't tell us how he created the man and the image, in the image. He's telling us that now. This is what, let us do this. We are doing it. He's given us the detail of we are doing it. Look at this. So he said, the Lord God formed the man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Praise God. So the dust, which became his body, had an experience with the breath of God, which is the spirit, and man became a living soul. So body plus spirit equals soul. The body plus spirit equals, every human being has a body with a spirit and the soul. The soul is the part that marries the body with the spirit. That's the bridge. Your soul involves your intellect, your emotions, your will. Your body is governed by 5 senses. The spirit is what causes us to be fellowship with the Father. When you and I became Christians then, before we became Christians, we had learned that all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. I'm going to show you something in Genesis chapter 5 shortly. Mankind sinned, and I'll show you a little bit of that in chapter 3 of Genesis. But before we get there, before you and I became Christians, the part of us that needed to be born again was the spirit of the man, not the body of the man. If I give my life to Christ today, and I ask him to come into my life and forgive me, when I walk away from this altar, the bald spot I had in my head is not going to change. Life can come into me until Christ comes. Fine. Nothing's going to change. If I'm really, really slim, when I walk from the altar, I'm still slim. Alright? Follow and taking out. This change is not an external physical thing that people see. It's something that happens on the inside of man. So what happens? The day I went to the altar and I said, Lord, I am so sorry. That day when I really meant it. Well, I think I meant it before. But that day when it began a new thing for me, I am so sorry. I confess my sins. I repent. I believe that Jesus Christ died for me. And I ask him to forgive me and come into my life. I will live for him for the rest of my life. That day, the Spirit of God, through what I confess with my mouth, deposited a powerful resurrection power of Christ in my spirit man that was dead, sleeping, no relationship with the Father. Quickened it in order to deposit life inside of me. Whose life was it? It was God's life now in me. Because remember, I was alive all the time. So were you. You were breathing, eating, jumping all over, doing what we do. The spirit man had lost connection. It was broken down. So now, the life came into my spirit man. So now I became alive spiritually. The theological term for that is called regeneration. We're regenerated. We're reborn. A rebirth. New life. He imparts new life in the spirit man. Then the Spirit of God came and lived inside of my spirit. So the Holy Spirit is living in your spirit. In your spirit. But His Spirit is in your body. So He's in your body too. And the body has become the dwelling place or the temple of where the Spirit lives. Praise God for that. So the body is the housing for the spirit man who lives inside of us. We got that? We good in this? Okay. So my spirit is alive, and so is yours. So now I have this fellowship relationship with God, and it wasn't based upon how holy I was, how sinless I was, or what I sin or not. It's based upon me confessing my sin and asking Christ to forgive me. And as of this moment and that moment, everything that I've ever done and I'll ever do has been wiped clean, and I am now a child of God. There's no ifs and buts and maybes about it. Many Christians don't believe that they are indeed a child of God. I know that sounds crazy, right? If you really don't believe it, sometimes it's hard to act like you are. If you don't believe you're a son of God, you're going to act like God. It's true. You act according to what you believe. If I believe that I'm a child of God, I'm going to walk as if I am. I've been adopted into the family of God. I am God's child. So are you, Sister Wendy. So you are my sister. Therefore, you've got sisters. Your brothers? When you see them, you guys may fight between yourself a little bit once in a while, but you don't tell everybody in the sister family, right? When your brothers and sisters, you love one another. It's an unconditional love. You will never, some people disown their brothers and their sisters. I feel sorry for them. But some people disown people. Listen, man, genuine, honest, sincere brothers and sisters never disown each other. Doesn't matter how many times you fight and disagree. You never disown. The minute you start disowning, you don't know who you are either. Why do we disown one another as Christians? Why do we behave as if we belong to a different family? Like my family is more secure and holy than yours. The church world is messed up with that. We are brothers and sisters in the family of God. He is our Father. So we sit around the family table and we have fellowship with God. Today we're on the family table. So, the spirit man is alive now. My spirit is alive, and so is yours, Sister Alien. Very alive. Do you know we have fellowship with one another in the spirit? The same spirit that lives inside of me lives inside of you. And we have fellowship and we don't even have to talk. You look at one and say, that person looks like a believer. They really talk. Yeah, they sound like they've been with Christ. That one looks like the attitude is like a child of God too. And then you look at others who claim that they are, you say, no, there's nothing about you that is God. You're not too. But what's my point? My point is you will recognize it because there's a sense in which that togetherness from spirit connection makes it easier for you. Spirit connection is more powerful than body and soul connection with me. You can connect somebody intellectually, have great conversations. You feel fantastic about that. But man, the spirit one is better. You feel at home and all, listen to this piece. And all the things that your spirit man has, every single one that they have, each person, it is also common in the other person. So if I am at peace with me because of the Spirit of God, and you are at peace with you, it is easy for us to have fellowship, brother Roy, remember that word? It is easy for us to have fellowship with one another. Because I am at peace, you are at peace, we are at peace. So when there's a lot of trouble and mess, somebody's not at peace. So the more mess is the more lack of peace. There's another problem with that too, is that when there's no love, the opposite will happen. Whatever that word might be, whatever that thing is. So if I love you, I will behave as if I do. Because love does have a lot of qualities that we should be demonstrated to one another. So my spirit man has all these things housed inside. Your spirit man has all those things there. The only difference is we haven't allowed them to, I call them, surface. Do you know that because the love of God is in your life and in my life, do you know the love is Love is kind. Do you know the kindness of God is already resident in you? Yes. So we have the opportunity to be the most kind people the world has ever met. It's in us. You don't have to drum it up. You shared that. Somebody talked about gratitude, was it you? Who shared gratitude? One of the statements. Anyway, somebody talked about gratitude. Showing grace, that kind of stuff. Rejoice. But here's my point. My point is, I'll be gracious to you because I have the grace of God in my life. It motivates my spirit man to act in a gracious manner. My body has to go along with what the spirit man is doing. If the Spirit controls my spirit, then I am led by the Spirit of God and not by myself. The control of my spirit is not for me to do it. It's for the God to say, now Raymond, get up and pray. Pray for that person. And I begin to pray. And I don't know why. The Spirit of God is somebody whose spirit man is in trouble. They don't have a clue what you're praying for. Do you understand this? I know we will get faulted. Genesis 2. So we see that. So here's the thing. So God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And God planted the garden eastward, and then he put man. After he built the man, he put a house for him. God planted the garden in the east, and he said, I've made man, I'm going to give him a place to live in. God said, I'm going to give him a home called Eden. Eden was his place. That was man's place. God said, this is your place. I told you that already. This is your place. You occupy, you rule from this place. Satan came in and messed up the man's place. Satan has been coming in messing up places ever since. He didn't get kicked up. Eve should have said, why are you doing inside there? Why are you talking to me? Why are you telling me to do X, Y, Z? She just listen. This thing is good for food. Because Satan is always out to destroy them. They didn't even realize that Satan had been the one woman all over the place, even before they got there. He came in the form of a serpent, disguised himself, but yet talk. It is believed that snakes walked uprightly before. It's believed. So, oh God, we talk about snakes. Let's move forward. Ladies are having some preaching experiences here today. You guys don't want to hear anything about snakes. But anyway, that's what he's camouflaged himself as. And there's been a lot of discussion about that. So, the point I'm making is, the spirit in one person who's a Christian connects with the spirit in me. So then the Bible said, if two or three of you, shall agree as touching anything, consider it done. If your spirit man communicates with my spirit and we agree on the same thing, and we in prayer, it is done. That's it. Peter and John going up to the temple to pray one day. They went up to the temple, this man crippled. He had a companion with him. And he said, hey, listen, you asked him for money, we don't have that today. But there's something we have, we can give you. Such as, I give, get up and walk. Grab the man's hand, lift him up, the man jumping and leaping and praising God. Who was with Peter that day? John. 2 or 3 shall agree touching in me. See? Many years ago, this pastor was going to re-struggle at his church. So Burnett called me and said, hey, I need you to agree with me on something. He told me what, I said, what do you want me to do again? He told me what he wanted. I said, you want me to agree on that one? I said, can you find another one for me to agree with? He said, why? I said, that one's not biblical. He said, well, that's not biblical. I said, give me a text. I can ask him, just give me a text. Give me a text that will cause me to pray, that prayer you want me to pray with you. That will cause me to agree with you in prayer. When people ask you to pray with them, make sure you get a biblical base for the prayer. Lord, pray that man will get fired. God has never asked you to get anybody fired. Has God ever told you to pray that this person will lose their job? Christians pray about people losing their job all the time. I want my boss to lose my job, lose his job. He's a whatever. God has never asked you to pray negative thoughts or praise into people's life. It's called witchcraft. Do you know God ever asked anybody to do that? If you go to Genesis, you talk about Moses and Exodus. Moses had to tell Pharaoh, if you don't obey God, some bad things will happen to you. You have to be warned first. You don't want to obey God? God's going to send plagues. It wasn't Moses' idea at the beginning to bring plagues to Egypt. You know. It It was God who said, if he does not, these are the things I will do to cause him to begin to let you guys go. It was God's program. Not Moses' program. He was just the oracle of just saying the statement. That's it. So let's be careful of how we pray people. Amen. So have you been agreeing with anybody recently in a prayer that is not biblical? You can change that out. Don't do it anymore. Say, Lord, I'm so sorry. You don't do it today. Lord, I'm so sorry, but I will not enter that kind of prayer covenant with anybody anymore. It's very dangerous. And what happens, it isn't that God answers the prayer. Let me get to what happened. It isn't that God answers the prayer. It's just that when you speak, listen to this one. When you speak the words with your mouth as a child of God, the words that you speak as spirit and they are life, according to John chapter 6. The point I'm making is you can speak a spirit word or you can speak a word of death. We speak words of death. The minute you speak a word that is unscriptural, Satan, who knows the Bible, will take your unscriptural word, create an activity in the life of the person you are praying against. This isn't God that did it. It was Satan who did it. He activated your word on a negative plane. It wasn't God that destroyed them. Okay, God, they do reward. Praise God. It wasn't God that did that. God may have exposed them like Egypt and Pharaoh. God, the Bible said that God hardens his heart. It doesn't mean that God physically went there and hardened his heart. It means that he gave Pharaoh the opportunity to change his own mind, follow his own heart. So he said, okay, let them go, change his mind. Hey, he hardened his heart means he changed his mind and did what he wanted to do with his own heart. Why? Because the heart of man is desperately wicked. If God ever allows us to go with what is in our hearts will be so hard nobody can talk to us. The nature of man is like that. It's only the grace of God that keeps us soft. Amen. It's only the grace of God that keeps us gentle. It's only the grace of God that keeps us humble. It's only the grace. Amen. You're not born with soft heart. You're born with hard hearts. Nobody's born with a heart that's not wicked. Even the little baby, my little sweetheart that's sleeping there now, she gave a big hug the last time. Surely I didn't get a hug. I said, you can get it at the end. So what's my point? Every child, they may be cute, but they're going to grow up. They have a heart that's desperately wicked. Everybody has it. It could be as sweet as pie, but everybody has it. Are you good? Let me see if we can tie this thing up. I have 2 pages of notes here, and I only got through the first half of this thing. I told you I got lots of stuff to tell you. I've been patient with God. I said, God, I will take my time and bring this lesson home to all of us, because it has to make a change in our lives, in every aspect of our lives. We are changing already. I want you to know this. He said we are already changing and evolving to become a church with a personality that reflects the love of God that he has demonstrated in our lives. This is already the case within our church. We are beginning to live in reality what God wants us to have lived out in our lives. It's beginning to happen. I want you to know that. It's a sweet feeling. This morning after singing praise and worship, I wanted to go up here. I said, there's a sweet atmosphere in here. I said to him, actually I want to stay here all day. That's the kind of feeling you get. It's a feeling where you want to feel like you're in the presence of God, and it's been worth getting out of my bed for. I was up since about 6:15 this morning, about 6:15. I thought, just think about a nap. And I can't fall back to sleep. Sister Sheila, so I'm just like you now. Why? Because church is exciting for me. Amen. I look forward to sharing all the things that I know with you. And you're going to become better than I am. The student normally gets better than the teacher. If you apply yourself and add your knowledge to that thing, you'll be a force to reckon with. I'd be sitting on things, go on. Just keep on going. Keep on going. Oh, let me go to this one scripture stuff. Go to Genesis chapter 5. Same Genesis. We didn't get over Genesis yet. Chapter 5. I want you to listen to this text. It's a very, really, really wonderful text. This is the book. Genesis chapter 5 verse 1. This is the book of the generation of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Who created man? In what? His likeness. Then he said, male and female created he them, blessed them, and called their name Adam. That's a generic name for mankind. Alright? In the day when they were created. Now, it's important for you to pay attention to the word created. Because the next verse has a different word. God created man, built man into something that man has never ever been before. Man never had an existence. But the existence of man is connected to the image of God. God said, I'm going to give you something of me to remind you that you are part of me. I'm creating you in my image after my likeness. Look at the next verse. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own image, in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. That is a different word. The Bible did not say that God created Seth. The Bible said he begat Seth. The simple version of that, we're not going to go to the definition of begetting or whatever. The simple version is this. Adam transferred into Seth, his children thereafter, something that Adam had that Adam didn't have before. Let me explain that. To beget, to produce that of the same kind like you are. Same kind. Not a different kind, same kind. So what is Adam begetting with Seth? Adam acquired a nature that's called sinful after he sinned. Adam beget Seth and transferred into this newborn, but into the process of conception, all of them, Cain and Abel, all of them included, something that Adam didn't have. That's why the Bible couldn't say that Adam created him. He didn't have the power to create. He only has the power, the authority to beget, to transfer what you are already. So when a man fathers a child, he's begetting a son. He's transferring of himself. He can't do it himself. He has to connect with a female. So the egg and the sperm must marry together and beget, produce of the same kind. So therefore, when you want to find out who your parents are, you can do a test. So one fellow, he had these two children that he wanted to sponsor. In fact, he brought them up to Toronto. He wanted to find out, because he's in the process of sponsoring them for them to become permanent citizens here. But he had question marks of whether or not they were his children. He was wondering, are they really mine? Without them knowing, he had a test done. Because he's trying to decide, do I keep them or send them back? They're already here. Thinking, what kind of father is this in my head? Thinking that. Didn't say it in my mouth, praise God. A few months later, he discovered that he was actually the father. As a result of that, they're here. And it said, my question to him was, if you discover that they're not, all these years that you've related to them as their father, would you really send them back? He said, I think I would have had to. I said, why? I was shocked. So they knew no other man but him as their dad for many years. They're no teenagers now. Why? Because his now wife, as he was married when he had those, his now wife was having issues with them. So if they weren't his children biologically, he thought for peace sake he would have gotten them back to her. I said, but that would be wrong. He said, no. I said, that would be wrong. You will destroy two children just like that. Those children, we told him, I said, and when he said, I said, did you get the test back? He said, yes. I said, the positive or they said, they're mine. I said, hallelujah. He said, yes, hallelujah. And I said, praise God that your children get to stay, not because they're only yours, because of the Father role that you played in their lives. People make some very strange decisions in life. To me, you're going to take him in anyway, whether you're children or not. You've raised him as that. What's my point? Adam, he begat Seth in his own image. He transferred into his son what he has. Here's a comparison that I want you to keep in your mind. When Christ was born of Mary, Christ was not created like God created Adam and Eve. If you went through your New Testament, you discovered that the Bible said a number of things. One of the things he said about Christ, "This is my beloved Son. He is the firstborn of my beloved." Begotten. He was begotten. But Christ was begotten, biblically speaking, in the New Testament. What does that mean? Christ is the spitting image of who begat him. And if God begat him, then Christ is... Say that one more time. If God begat Christ, Christ is therefore God. If Adam begat Seth, Adam is not a donkey, Adam is a man. You are what you are begotten from. Christ was begotten of the Father. He's called the only begotten of the Father. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only one begotten Son. That's what John 3:16 said. He is begotten. He gave his only begotten Son. Christ is the only one that is the splitted image of the Father. Oh, that's a glory spot right there. It makes Christ totally different from everybody else on planet Earth. We have been adopted into the family. We are adopted into the family, but we're not begotten. I'm glad I'm not begotten. I'm glad that I was adopted. The Bible tells me I'm adopted. My physical father and my mother, they transferred into me what was transferred into them. Sinful nature. Hence Christ did not have a sinful nature. So therefore, the Bible said, Christ never sinned. Could he have? Yes. Why could he? Because Adam and Eve didn't have a sinful nature when they were born, but they sinned anyway. Adam and Eve made a choice. Christ chose not to sin. So Christ is sinless because he chose not to sin. Adam became sinful because he chose to sin. We are sinful because we were born with it. You're doing very good. Adam is God's son in the physical, natural, but not in the spiritual sense as Christ was. You're doing good. Aileen, your mind's running crazy like that. Running wonderful, not crazy. We're wonderful. I like that. We are thinking through what we believe. When I understand that, I am adopted, but I'm also called a son of God. By adoption, I am a son of God. And because the Spirit of God lives inside of me, that's how powerful this is. Listen to how sweet this is. When you go to Matthew, Mark, those Gospels, John the Baptist came up and he's baptizing people. Jesus, he prophesied. He said, there's somebody's going to come visit us one day soon, whose schools are not even prepared to kind of help fix up. When he saw him, he said, hey guys, remember I told him about the guy? Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. Jesus said, I want you to baptize me. Really? Come on. I can't do that. You are God in the flesh. You want me, a sinful man, to baptize? Yeah, you baptize me. It is important for you to do that. It provides and it makes righteousness right. Okay? You went down in the water. Woo! Water baptism. Bingo. Those of you not baptized, we plan to want some of them soon. In the water. Come up. A voice spoke out of heaven. And they spoke to Jesus. Thou art my only begotten Son. Thou art my beloved Son. You are it. I am pleased with you. The Bible does say, and the Holy Spirit came and hovered among him, above him, in the form of a dove. Why is that happening? All three persons of the Godhead showed up right there when Jesus was baptized. Father spoke, Jesus heard it, the angel said it. All three of them that made Adam and Eve in the garden. How did I know that? Well, when God spoke in the garden, it was the word which became flesh. Jesus was talking. Are you following this now? Follow me now. When he spoke, God is the spoken. Christ is the spoken word. When the words come out of him, when Christ speaks, that's the word of God. when he blew, the Spirit of God came into the man. Well, hold a second. You mean all three persons got involved in creating the first man? Yeah. And all three of them involved at the second Adam? Yes. All three of them. All three of them involved when you and I got saved? Absolutely. The Father provided the sacrifice. The sacrifice died. Spirit of God raised him up. He set it upon him at baptism. And then he said to the disciples, hey guys, I want to tell you a secret. I'm going to go back. Physically I'm leaving here. But I'm not going to leave you without somebody to help you out. I'm going to send the other person to Godhead. Holy Ghost decided, we had this deal long time ago, before you were made, before you were born, that Holy Spirit will come back. But when he comes back, according to John chapter 14, he's already with you. But he said, he's going to come and live in you this time. So where's the Holy Spirit living now? Talk to me now. Where's the Holy Spirit living now? In your spirit, man. He lives there. He's hanging out there every single chance we get. He talks to us, but we don't oftentimes listen. You listen, Sister Sharman, praise God. He wants to shut him out, shut him out, shut him out. So she shut him out. This is the hand dancing. We can make fun of this. But the point I'm making is, we are all. This is a little bit of who we are. I haven't even started about who we are. This is a little bit of who we are. We have been born of the Spirit of God. We have been led by the Spirit. We are it. And one of these days, my favorite New Testament book to teach is the book of Ephesians. I don't know of any better book that tells me of who I am, my position in Christ. I don't know of any better book. I can spend 3 years teaching that book. I think over the years of ministry, I've done teaching at least 4 times. I think everybody should learn it. And the only 3 words I go by in that book: sit, walk, and stand, right? There's a fellow named Watchman Lee. He has a little book that's called Sit, Walk, and Stand. If you ever see that book in a bookstore, buy it. Give you an overview of it. But it's true. Who I am determines where I sit. Where I sit determines how I walk. My walk is my conduct in my life. And where I walk determines how I stand. I stand. Some people want to stand but they don't know where they're sitting. Yes, sit first. I'm in a position when I sit. So therefore, conclusion now. This is also an introduction to where we want to go to power now. This is just so laughing at me, you know. Here's the point I'm making. Who I am is extremely important. So what I have, I'll cherish it. If I know who I am, I'll cherish what I have. When you know who you are, you cherish what you have. If you don't know who you are, you don't have a clue of what you have, and you don't know how to value it. You and I got people in our lives that we value. You must cherish what you have because you know who you are. It's in our church. You are here. I understand who you are, and I value you. I want you to know that. You are a gift to the body of Christ, and I'm going to do everything in my power by the grace of God to make sure that you function as your gift. There are all kinds of gifts that will be serviced in this church. I mean, Sunday after Sunday, I just sit down and say, just go ahead, guys, just go ahead, everything. Somebody can say, I got a word from the Lord. I said, make it, as long as you make it scriptural and biblical, I'm good with you. So God will say, I want you to listen to this. Let me set you up for what God's going to do. It's a setup. There will be times at our church when God will speak to some of you in a dream or a vision or something, give you a word before you come to church. I will never stop you from delivering that word within our church. Never. But here's the wonderful part of that. You say, Pastor, don't give me a word today. I'm not going to sit down and ask you to tell me what it is. Because I'm going to trust you to have heard from God. If after you speaking and while you're speaking, when you finish speaking the word, and we need to make some modifications or correction in that, we'll do that. Why? Because that's what we're going to learn. When Samuel, a little boy, and he was a prophet before the man, Eli, Samuel had the voice said to him, hey, Samuel, Samuel. He didn't even recognize the voice. He said, did you call me something? He said, no, go back my door. Samuel, Samuel, who's calling me like this? Because he didn't recognize the voice. His ears had not yet been tuned to the voice of the Spirit. Not everybody is fully attuned to the voice of the Spirit. Not everybody is. And sometimes you're going to think you get a word from the Lord that may not have been. How are we going to determine whether it's true or not? We will have to search the Scripture. Is Scripture? Hey, that's Scripture, man. Let's believe that and run together. Because he may give you a word of warning for the church and he will not give it to me. He may give it to all of us and might be included in the pile. What is my point? Because God is no respecter of persons. He doesn't treat anybody better than the other. I'm not a gifted child of God. I am just a child of God. So are you. So God can talk to me. He can talk to you, right? You sure? Will you listen? Are you going to be obedient? Should I tell him that? Oh, hallelujah. Oh, close your eyes then. Let's go. Father, you're good and amazing and fantastic and terrific person. We've just shared a little bit of some of the things you have us go through all these days upon days, and I'm not sure where to go, wasn't sure where to go with this, and finally you told me to start there. I had in my mind and I was a whole lot more to do, but you have this very way of doing things, and I thank you that I have been working hard to be obedient to you. In this house today, Father, there are many, many people whose hearts are hungry for you and they want to learn and grow. You are doing that for us. You're confirming a lot of the things with others, and I thank you. So now, Father, some of the things we've heard over the past, in our years gone by, we use that only as a reference point, but they may not all necessarily have been biblical or altogether based on what you really want. So today, I've just shared a little bit of what you're talking to us about. And you are planning to use many people within this church to give word of exhortation, a prophetic utterance, a word in tongues, an interpretation of tongues, a word of knowledge, a gift of prophecy. It could be all kinds of stuff. All of those gifts are available to every single one of us in whom the Spirit of God lives. As a church, I thank you that you're preparing us, the womb of this church, to receive from you, from everyone in our church who you will speak to. There will be times you will bring other people from the outside to share words with us and help us to have an open heart towards that, but also search the scriptures to see whether or not it's biblical or not. So we are ready. In fact, we are really quite at this part where you choose to do that, Father. We will learn how to respond to what you bring, and we will make ourselves available to you. I pray this on behalf of all of us. I thank you and give you praise. In Jesus' name. Amen. We had a 3-way conversation.